What's up, everybody? It is KidSmoove and my good pal,
Gaming Addict.
and we are starting something new called Addict and Smoove Reviews. And our first game that we'll be doing together is Mr. Shifty. Addict,
Yeah.
can you tell us about Mr. Shifty?
Mr. Shifty is it's kind of weird to explain the story, because I will say that, they don't really, besides the dialogue at the bottom, they don't really go into a whole lot when it comes to the story. Like, the only thing I really got about the story is you're going after some counselor at the top of a building. Did you get anything besides that?
A lot of chasing and beat a bunch of guys up for like really no reason, The story is not deep.
And to be honest, they didn't really explain a whole lot. Like, felt like a backstory behind, how he got his powers or something. Even if it was just in the dialogue or something, would have been a little bit more better. But, I do expect a sequel, so I think we'll see more of that in a sequel.
Well, all right. So, Mr. Shifty, it's a game by Team Shifty, and it's published by the wonderful folks at Tiny Build. And the game pretty much is. I'm trying to think of a movie. Oh, I'm thinking of X-Men, like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's like a gimmick Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Like, he can only teleport like a couple feet in front of them, but he's legitimately untouchable when he does it.
Yes, and so I mean the abilities are fun. You get about 5 shifts like before you have to before it runs out, before you have to let it reload again. And you have to use them wisely, because sometimes some of the stages in this game cause for a lot of shifting, and you only get really 5 attempts before you run out and have to hide somewhere and let those things reload. So Addict, man, what do you think of this gameplay? It's meant for kind of a fast-paced style.
I like it. I felt like it was what I liked about the most about it is I felt like every aspect of this game was thought of. Like, they, who knows? I would willing to bet you that at the beginning of this they had more shifts, left shifts, and they try to get a good equal balance. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes when you panic, a lot of the times when you die in the gameplay in this, it's your fault. It's not their fault. It's not the game's fault. It's you decided to shift one too many times. How many times when there's a shotgunner right around the corner, I panic and just spam the shift button trying to get away, and then I realize I just screwed myself because I have no shifts and the entire mob is coming right at me.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the game, it's frantic, it's fast paced, and it took me a while to realize, holy crap, I run out of the shifts and where to shift, because sometimes I would lose with all the action. I would lose track of where the reticle is of where your shift will land you. And I found myself, and it took a while for me to learn that, because as we saw momentarily on the screen, I think one of us had a death toll of 48. But because the game is hard, and for a game that doesn't really have boss battles,
it's got none at all.
It's interesting. I look at some of the level designs as boss battles. There's about maybe 5. Would you say, how many enemy types you think are in this game?
Probably about 5 to 8 anywhere in that district.
And who would you say you had the most trouble with?
The red shotgunners, man. They got all when I came across the one gunner people, that was nothing. Half the time I would see how long I could wait before I teleport to see if they could shoot me, because they were legitimately that pathetic. Then you got the big, beat 'em up dudes. Those weren't an issue. The only times they were an issue if there was more than 5 or 6 of them. But besides that, it's just you be real careful with your shifts. Make sure you don't use them all. You always shift behind the big dudes. And then you got the shotgunners, the regular shotgunners, the purple guys. Those is where the game started picking up a little bit. But, as long as they only had one shot, they had to reload after every shot. They weren't exactly hard to get shot by, it's most of the time, but they had range. The purple ones had range. If you didn't see them, it was devastating. And then you had I don't know who was first, the katana chicks or the red shotgunners.
Red shotgunners. I believe you ran into the people with the shotguns before you had the katana chicks who launched at you.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, no individual unit is hard. It's when they're all put together.
Yeah, just like how you mentioned with the people over, like the muscle guys, the big huge guys. They're slow, but they pack a punch that will kill you, and they're only become a challenge when you get mobbed by like a good 10 of them, and they clog up the shifting room, you know.
And then not to mention the rocket launcher people and the grenade launcher people.
Yes. The grenade launchers, you can get around them because like their movements aren't quick and they take time to let off. The people, I think when I first came encounter with the grenade launchers is because the thing about the grenade launchers, you're encouraged to pick up the grenades and throw them back. But the grenades, they detonate extremely quick. So you have to be very precise.
Your best bet when you come across the grenade launchers is just to shift behind them and hit them.
Yeah, or make them kill their teammates.
That's the biggest thing I want to bring up is this game pretty much demands you to use the stupidity of the NPCs to kill each other.
Yes, I will agree on that. And because they'll put you in these rooms where it gets crowded and there's a lot of like mobility, and you'll have a lot of people chasing after you, and I would occasionally find myself switch or shift into a room with let's say one of them dudes with the rocket launcher or grenade launchers, have those the mini shotgunners follow me into that room, shift out, and then at that time they already launched the grenades, kills half the team. And so just
especially the rocket launcher, man.
Yeah.
Like, and what's funny is there's certain scenarios at the end of the game that they put you in a room with a bunch of like, you know, big bulk people that chase you. And they spawn like 1 or 2 rocket launcher people because they pretty much like, look, we gave you a lot of beat 'em up people that's gonna come over there. They're gonna beat you. So you could either take your turn hitting every one of those big dudes one by one, or you could just keep shifting around the room like I did and let the big dudes with the rocket launchers kill all the big muscle dudes, and then just kill the 2 rocket launchers.
Now, with this game, this is not like a game that you're gonna spend like your whole summer playing. This game was meant for like speed runs, but it is challenging. I mean, on average, what would you give people like as time of how long they can complete a game like Mr. Shifty?
I beat it in 5 hours, I believe. You know, that's with all the errors, because a lot of this game is just trial and error. Don't do this, didn't work last time. But if, you know, there's an achievement for beating it under the dev time, and that's completely plausible. Like, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 9 minutes is the achievement?
Yeah, an hour and 9 minutes. I think it's glitched, though, because I beat it in, like, way more than that, and I still got the achievement somehow.
Yeah, I got the achievement, too. I think my playtime, I think ended around, I believe, like 4 hours or something like that, like, with the game. As far as the game itself, the game looks cool. It looks great. You know, that it's a top-down shooter, beat 'em up. You know, don't get hit because you'll die. But the thing is, the performance. Now, I don't know the frame rate on the game itself, but I did feel the game like lagging behind there with like frame drops and screen tearing here and there, which actually impacted, you know, me dying and with some of those occasions. So what about yourself?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There, you know, towards the beginning, you won't really have any issues. Maybe a frame dropper every now and then you get towards the end of the game, and it's like a PowerPoint sometimes. Like, it's bad.
Yes, and speaking of the game, like we don't want to spoil it, you know what I mean? But how did you find the boss fight you do encounter? How did you think of that?
I found it very disappointing. That was my biggest knack about this game, is the boss fight was the only part I could really, besides the, you know, the frame per second, you know, the FPS problems in the game. Besides that, the boss fight was the only real negative thing I could feel about this game had.
Yeah, so because the thing is, the game throughout the whole time you're playing it, they have these stages, these layouts that beat you down. I mean, these levels beat you up, and for you to get to the actual destination and it become like a sneeze.
In majority of these rooms, the requirement to unlock the doors, you have to kill everyone in the room.
Yeah, correct.
And all of the surfaces, all of the little, you know, there's a lot of cubby holes, a lot of walls, like, you know, unique perspective of walls. They're all destructible. The whole room is destructible.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that I can punch my way out of like the holding cell. I think it was the start of Act 2, where you're locked in a cell and you have to beat yourself out of it. The one thing I want to say about this game is that they have some great level designs, and they find ways to manipulate the levels with the whole shift mechanism and whatnot. I felt like they did a great job with it, and kind of require you to use your reflexes, think about where you're gonna go before you actually do it. Do you have any thoughts on how like really the game kind of like try to lure you in how they want you to play?
I think for the most part they want you to be, you know, it's like you said, real environment conscious of where you're going. You know, there's a lot of real cheap tactics you can use, like I said earlier. The majority of these enemies won't shoot you as long as you shift right. Like if you constantly shift and you run out of shifts, almost guaranteed death. Like if you use all 5 of your shifts, unless there's like one person left and you could beat him off. But that sounded really bad. But you know, besides that, it's almost a guaranteed death. And you know they get you real relying on these shifts, and then what do, kid? They put these machines around the building that you're playing that completely cut your shifting abilities off. So
yeah,
you know
that's true.
They try to, you know, take away hope, if you will, of like, you know, you need these shift abilities to do something. And sometimes the first time every time I walk into a building, I see that blue tint. I'm like, where's that machine? It's gotta go.
Yes, it took me a while to get, because like when you lose the shifting ability and you kind of have to rely on like your speed and kind of have to Assassin's Creed your way around some of these enemies, because like I said, once you get hit, you're not allowed to take damage in this game. So it kind of presented a challenge. And it's crazy, like I said, there's no real boss fights in the game other than like, you know, the obvious last boss. But it's the stages and the level design itself and the circumstances they put you through to kind of master that, or to hide the lack thereof of a boss fight. But other than that, I mean, this game is it's a gem. It's $15 too. It's available on the Switch. We've both played it through on the Xbox, and I believe it's also on PC, and I believe it's on PlayStation if I'm not mistaken.
It's on Switch.
Yeah, on Switch. It launched on Switch first, oddly. So, what would you? We don't really give like grades, but is Mr. Shifty worth a pickup?
Yes, for 15. I think even for 20 to 25, this game would be worth it. But you know, 15's a good price. It's a good low price for you know, a start of a very promising franchise. If you were to name 2 things that they would do to a sequel to improve it, what would it be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously improve performance. Get some actual boss fights. And one thing we do need to point out: you don't get to carry any automatic weapons. You only get to carry like melee weapons, like a katana, a bat. You know, you can kill people with a pillow if you throw it.
Yeah, you can kill people like big flamethrower. We didn't bring up the flamethrower guys. Big flamethrower guys with a pillow.
Yeah. And so it's some of the stuff. It's stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, well, but like, you know, you get to kill these people with like bazookas, flamethrowers. They have all these special weapons and they drop them, but you can't really pick them up and use them. But I guess if they gave you that ability, this game can be beat in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like they should let you pick them up, but not use them, like throw them again. But then again, there'd be hundreds of guns on the ground, so I can understand why they didn't choose to do that. But I mean, if the biggest thing I could say, you know, I feel like the performance thing was just a quick port. You know, I'm not going to put no blame on anyone. They were just trying to get the port out. But I feel like besides that, I just feel like maybe 1 or 2 good boss battles with good mechanics, not necessarily like a, you know, bullet sponge, but some good mechanics to actually fight them. Yeah. So, you know, that's the only thing I feel like the only thing this game's missing is solid boss battles. That's all.
Yeah. Some boss battles to end each act, not even each chapter. To end each act, you know what I mean? You want some sort of a climax, but I mean,
you could have had it to where, you know, the counselor has like, you have to
some
Like
companions.
his top 3 head of security and his 2 right and left hand mans, like little stuff like that. I felt like could have went a long way in this game.
Yeah, but like I said, it is only a $15 title. Hopefully, if Mr. Shifty gets a sequel, you know, we'll see more improvements. But Addict recommends it. I recommend it. This is Addict and Smoove, a review of Mr. Shifty. Pick it up if you have $15 in your pocket. I'm pretty sure this is a game that will be on sale this holiday for the cheap. A great game, easy to get at least 500 to 800 gamer score, and if you're looking to rack up some achievements.
Yeah, the only hard one is to beat the game without dying.
Yeah, which I wouldn't recommend trying if you want to keep some years on your young lives. So, other than that, I mean, I want to thank you guys for watching our review. If you have any questions or any other reviews you suggest us do, please let us know in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys Tuesday on Planet Xbox. It's KidSmoove. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Addict.
See you guys. Definitely follow me on YouTube.
Peace.